Those who are able, please rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Jessica, for that beautiful rendition. You may all please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome our distinguished speaker, Elke Flores Suber, my faculty and staff colleagues, the members of the class of 2018, and your friends and family to today's commencement ceremony for the class of 2018. This is truly a special day for the graduating class and also for the School of Law. For our graduates, this day is a day of completion, of achievement, and of celebration. It marks the end of a long journey, a journey that has been characterized by intellectual challenges, hard work, the development of lifelong relationships, and your personal and professional growth. Whether you were studying for class or representing clients in our clinics, whether you were competing in moot court or mock trial competitions or organizing auctions to raise money for public interest work, whether you were serving as student leaders or studying abroad, you have had a very full law school career. I applaud your dedication and your perseverance, both of which are good predictors of your future success as attorneys. This is your day, and you should be rightfully proud of all that you have accomplished. While the ultimate credit for this achievement is yours, of course, you've been aided in your law school journey, and you've been supported by those who love you. So I want to first take a few moments to acknowledge the contributions of your family members and loved ones, for they are celebrating with us today as well. The parents of our graduates may be celebrating for many reasons. Some of them may be glad to have a lawyer in the family, even if they're a little afraid about you using your analytical skills on them at the dinner table. Some of them may just be relieved that you are finally off of the family payroll now that you are done with school. I think I heard an amen from some of the parents. Whatever the reason, I'm confident as a parent myself that they are uniformly proud of you for the hard work you have put in to accomplish your dream, and that they look forward to the many opportunities that the future holds for you. I therefore ask at this time that the parents of the graduating class of 2018 who are present with us here today please stand so that the members of the class can join me in giving you a round of appreciative applause. Thank you. The partners and spouses of our graduates have their own reasons for celebrating with us today as well. They have witnessed the transformation that law school can produce in an individual, and they've been by your side for those late nights, for those stressful weekends, for the successes and disappointments that each member of the graduating class has experienced. I'd now like to ask the spouses and partners of the graduates to please rise so that on behalf of the law school, I can thank you for sharing your loved ones with us for these past few years, and so we can give you a round of applause as well. Thank you. One additional group that I'd like to specifically acknowledge is probably smaller both in number and in size. I'd like for any children of the graduates to stand up or to be lifted up. To the children of our graduates, I know you've probably wondered for several years now why your parent never goes anywhere without carrying a heavy book and a computer, and why they always look like they have something else on their mind when they're at home with you. I know that this journey requires sacrifice from the entire family, and I know that sometimes it's been hard for you when your parent hasn't been there. But I can tell you this, I know that there were times when your hug or your smile or your laugh was exactly what your parent needed to go the extra mile. You should be very proud of what your parent has accomplished through their hard work, and along with the graduates, I again offer my thanks to the children as well. Members of the class of 2018, it is not just your friends and family who have helped you to accomplish what you have over these past few years, but my faculty colleagues sitting here on stage with me have also played an important and valuable role in what you have learned and in who you have become. The faculty of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law is among the nation's finest. These gifted teachers and scholars have dedicated a significant portion of themselves every day to all of the graduates whom we celebrate. During your time in law school, they may have sometimes made you squirm in class, but they've also helped those magical light bulb moments to occur. They've advised you on how to get through law school and on what to do with your life after you get out. They have taught you about finding and communicating the right answers, but perhaps even more importantly, they've taught you about how to ask the right questions. And so I hope you will join me now in expressing our appreciation to my faculty colleagues for their teaching, guidance, and support of all of our graduates. I now have the pleasure of introducing the president of the class of 2018, Kathleen M. Poynton. In addition to serving as class president, Kathleen was elected as a class representative by her fellow students during each of her 3 years at the law school. A recipient of the law school's prestigious Dean's Scholarship based on her outstanding academic achievement, Kathleen has served as a contributing editor for the Pitt Journal of Environmental and Public Health Law and as an active member of the Pittsburgh Intellectual Property Association. Kathleen earned her Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in neuroscience with a minor in chemistry. She was also a member of the University of Pittsburgh rowing team and was named an American Collegiate Rowing Association Scholar Athlete for her outstanding academics. I am pleased to present to you your 3L class president, Kathleen Poynton.
Thank you, Dean Carter, for making me sound very important. Thank you, everyone, for coming again. Real quick, I'd like to recognize our class vice president, Miracle Jones, for all she has done this year as well. She's right there. She was a huge support system for everybody in the law school, and she has done so much for the school and the surrounding community. And I think her 4 superlative awards that she was given this past week are evidence of that, so thank you, Miracle. I'd also like to thank you, the class of 2018, for voting me as your class president, allowing me the opportunity to serve you during quite an eventful year, for allowing me the opportunity to speak on behalf of our class, and again, for making me sound very important. When I was thinking of what to say today, I thought of a few things. I thought of all the stressful times we've had together, like our first cold calls, appellate briefs, oral arguments, anonymous emails, the 2016 presidential election. I also thought of some of the great times that we had together, like trivia nights, barrister's ball, somebody winning their first moot court competition, or finally landing your dream job. The great times are some of the best times to remember, not just because they are in and of themselves great, but they are also an opportunity to show how supportive and encouraging this class of 2018 really is. There was never any crazy competition, no hiding practice tests in the library or taking out books so that nobody else could study. Instead, there were people helping each other, sharing notes and sharing outlines, congratulating each other when one had success, and always pushing each other to do bigger and better things, especially when a goal wasn't quite reached. I plan, and I hope you all do as well, to take that environment of encouragement with me for the rest of my legal career, and to always remember that this experience, as terrible as it was at times, bonded us together in more ways than just a shared graduation date. This environment of what some people call Barco High sounds to some like something ridiculous, being so sequestered from normal people all the time, but it isn't all that bad. It took me a while to realize how much I had changed throughout law school, aside from the obvious things like my ever-lightening skin tone and my diminishing vitamin D levels. For example, I didn't notice anything amiss whenever my sister called me to complain about her boss being mean to her, to which my response was, "Well, do you have this in writing? We're gonna need more than just your word." She told me she was just looking for sympathy, not a lawsuit. It also didn't hit me whenever I got a very confused email from my wedding photographer asking why I had sent him back a red-line copy of his contract instead of just signing it like everyone else did. He really did say that. It's never happened before. I suppose I realized things had gotten out of hand when, after my wedding, I was uncharacteristically excited for tax season so that I could finally take advantage of the huge standard deduction that I could claim from joint filing status that we learned about in federal income tax that spring. But these aren't all bad things. These new personality traits, we'll call them, coincide with an expansive skill set that we've gained throughout our studies. We learned how to think critically, we learned how to approach a problem from both sides, we learned how to write and speak persuasively, and most importantly, we learned how to be effective advocates. As far as plans for the future or any career advice, I really can't offer that because I have no idea what I'm doing either. So, what I can offer is something that I was told to think about when going forward in my legal career, and I'd like to pass that along. I was told to think about the person that I said I was 3 years ago when I drafted my original entrance essay for my law school application. Think about that person and think about who and where you are now, and try to live a life that would make that person proud. Don't let frustrations or failures diminish the reason many of us came here in the first place, which was, in the end, to help people in a society that is grounded by the force of law. I'd like to take that with me to keep things in perspective and to keep myself accountable as I move forward in my legal career, which I look forward to sharing with each of you for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the president of the Student Bar Association at Pitt Law and another true student leader, Karima Mayer. Oh, you can clap now. Feel free. In addition to serving as a highly effective Student Bar Association president, Karima has contributed significantly to the law school community throughout her 3 years as a student. She was elected to serve as class representative to the SBA during her first year of law school and as SBA vice president as a second-year student. Karima also served as a student member of the Faculty Hiring Committee, the Dean Search Committee, and the Law School's Diversity Committee, a remarkable testament to the esteem in which she is held by the entire community. In addition, Karima served as managing editor of the Pitt Law Tax Review. She assisted the law school's admissions office as a Pitt Law ambassador. She worked also for the law school's Office of Professional and Career Development. She also served as the social chair for the Black Law Students Association and somehow also found time to work with local high school students as one of our Marshall Brennan Constitutional Literacy Fellows. Karima is a graduate of Jacksonville State University in Florida, where she majored in political science with minors in both English and psychology. She worked as a summer associate with Buchanan, Ingersoll, and Rooney and as a judicial intern with the Philadelphia County Court of Common Pleas. It has been a true pleasure to work with Karima, and I'm pleased to introduce her to you. Karima?
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone looks so beautiful. I would be speechless if it wasn't for this already written speech that I have. Thank you, Dean Carter. It was a pleasure having you as not only a professor, a mentor, and a dean, and you've truly been an integral part of the class of 2018's law school experience. To the class of 2018, like I said Wednesday at our luncheon, we did it, guys, and congratulations. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to serve, not only as a 1L representative, but also as a vice president, and finally, as the president of the Student Bar Association. It was truly a pleasure. However, today, I have the pleasure of introducing the winner of the 2018 Robert T. Harper Excellence in Teaching Award. This award goes to the professor that has not only embodied the role of a teacher, but also a mentor to the class of 2018. Each year, the graduating class elects a professor who has gone above and beyond in their role as a teacher, and also inspires us not only to be the best lawyers that we can be, but also to utilize our degrees in a way that can help us change the world. Today, I am honored to announce that this year's award will go to Professor Rhonda Wasserman. Although I have not, yeah, you can clap. Although I have not personally had Professor Rhonda Wasserman as a professor, I had the pleasure of working with her on multiple projects where I learned that regardless of her role, whether it be as a professor or a faculty sponsor for a student organization or just a mentor, she always acts in the benefit for each and every student. This year, I witnessed Professor Wasserman fight for public interest students when the Student Bar Association voted on the public interest fee. I also watched her help PLISIF during many of their events during the school years. Professor Wasserman is also my professor mentor, and I can assure everyone that she's personally vested in seeing everyone not only pass the bar, but succeed in their legal careers. For these reasons, it's obvious why Professor Wasserman is this year's Robert T. Harper's Excellence in Teaching Award recipient. And I want to personally thank you, Professor Wasserman, for teaching and inspiring the class of 2018. I'm honored to present this award to you.
Thank you, Karima, and thank you to the class of 2018 and everybody else. I view the opportunity to spend my days with bright students in the classroom as an honor in and of itself, so this recognition is an even greater honor for which I'm very grateful. Thank you. To the parents and loved ones of our graduates, I share your joy and pride. Congratulations. While our children's successes are largely due to their own efforts and talents, parents deserve great credit for steering children in the right direction and teaching them to strive, to push themselves, and to persevere even when the challenges are great. As teachers, we value your efforts in teaching our students these important life lessons long before they enter our classrooms. Thank you. To the graduates, I want to pick up where Dean Carter left off at the third-year luncheon. Like the dean, I've never found lawyer jokes particularly funny. And honestly, I've never understood why others find them funny. Most lawyer jokes seem to either implicitly or explicitly criticize lawyers for one of two reasons. We charge clients for our services, and we're tenacious in pursuing our clients' interests. But doctors charge their patients, yet society doesn't mock them, but rather expresses gratitude when they tenaciously attempt to diagnose and treat our various ailments. So why is it that the same qualities that are applauded or at least tolerated in other professionals are denigrated in attorneys? I think the explanation stems from a lack of familiarity with the important work that lawyers do. Over the course of our lives, and typically from a young age, we come to know and trust and rely upon the judgment of doctors. We understand the value of their work, and we're grateful for their services, even if we may occasionally question the amount they charge or struggle to pay their fees. Fewer of us have encountered lawyers in our daily lives. This may be because not all of us have had legal problems that require an attorney's assistance, but sometimes it's because those in need lack access to counsel. Now, I'd be the last person to criticize the press. I'm respectful of and deeply thankful for vigilant media, especially at this critical time. But I do question the frequent refrain in the media that there are too many lawyers. In fact, I think we have too few lawyers to meet the needs of many in our community. But more to my main point, because so many Americans have little personal experience with lawyers, they fail to understand the critically important work that lawyers do. But we know. We know that lawyers speak for those who have no voice, speak truth to power, seek to enforce the laws even when our government, or especially when our government refuses to do so, and seek to resolve disputes without resort to violence. Ask a family that's been separated at the border if they thought their lawyer services were meaningful or worth mocking. Ask a person who's been wrongfully arrested if he found his lawyer's tenacity something to ridicule or something to celebrate. Ask the family on the verge of eviction if they think lawyer jokes are funny or if their lawyer is the only person standing between them and the cold. Not all of you will commit your professional lives to public interest law or public service, but I hope all of you, regardless of how you put your degrees to work, will defend the rule of law, speak truth to power, and if you're able, hold the government accountable to the people. Thank you very much for this honor.
Thank you, Karima, and congratulations, Professor Wasserman. I'm very proud to have you as my faculty colleague. I now have the great honor and privilege of introducing today's distinguished speaker, Elke Flores Suber. Elke is a senior executive and a leader with a passion for issues related to technology, intellectual property, and diversity. As the Assistant General Counsel for Microsoft, Elke leads a global legal team that supports Microsoft's physical and digital stores around the world and its relationships with partners such as Dell, HP, the NFL, HBO, and Netflix, among many others. At Microsoft, she has served in a variety of roles, including as counsel for several of the company's leading consumer products and as lead copyright lawyer for Microsoft's interactive entertainment business, including the Xbox. And if you have extras laying around, I'll be happy to take one off your hands. Elke is also the first African-American woman to ascend to the position of Assistant General Counsel at Microsoft. Prior to joining Microsoft, Elke was counsel for Cigna's Technology and Business Group, as well as a law firm associate. She began her career as a law clerk for the Honorable Gary L. Lancaster of the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania, and also for the Honorable Justin M. Johnson of the Pennsylvania Superior Court. Elke is a past chair and president of the Board of Directors for the Black Entertainment and Sports Lawyers Association, and she currently chairs the Digital Media and New Technologies Division of the ABA Forum on the Entertainment and Sports Industries. She is a fellow of the Leadership Council on Legal Diversity and a distinguished alumni awardee of her college, Slippery Rock University. Elke received her JD from Pitt Law in 1996, and she currently also serves as a member of the law school's board. Graduates, guests, faculty, and staff, it is my great honor to present to you our 2018 commencement speaker, Pitt Law alumna Elke Flores Suber.
Good afternoon, everyone, and hello, graduates. So honored and excited to be with you in celebration of your commencement today. This opportunity to speak with you today has allowed me to reflect on my own graduation from Pitt Law almost 22 years ago. I want to extend my deep appreciation to Dean Carter, to the Law School Board of Visitors with whom I proudly serve, our great institution, to the faculty, administrators, and staff, and I'm so happy to see all of the family and friends here today. I am grateful to all of my professors for supporting me and encouraging me when I was a student here at the law school. And I want to extend a special bow to my professor and mentor, Kevin Deasy, Professor Ronald Brand, and Professor Teresa Brostoff, as professors who were pivotal to my development as a law student. So today, I want to take some time and share with you 4 stories that highlight some of the important lessons that I've learned. I hope these stories and the lessons will resonate with you and help you as you enter this esteemed profession of ours. As I traveled here today, walking the same paths that I did as a student so many years ago, it's really incredible to reflect on my journey and to understand how much the University of Pittsburgh School of Law has contributed to helping shape the woman and attorney that I am today. So let's start with the lessons. My first lesson is that where you begin does not dictate where you will end or the paths that you'll take. The odds and the statistics say I shouldn't be here in front of you today. I'm a first-generation American, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My story is like many others who grew up in the inner city, and maybe like storylines you may have watched on TV. My family immigrated to the US from Trinidad in the late 60s. My grandmother came first, laboring as a domestic worker until she could afford to send and bring my grandfather and my mother to New York. My mother then helped my father immigrate to the US. My parents both only had the equivalent of a high school education, but they instilled in their children the importance of pursuing an advanced education. Like so many immigrants before them, they wanted us to achieve more than they did. By the time I was 8 years old, my parents had separated, leaving my mother to become a single parent with 3 young children. I didn't understand it then, but my father's departure from the home had a heavy toll on my mother, both emotionally and economically, the result of which demanded that I become more responsible. At times, a child parent having to take care of my younger siblings. By the time I entered law school, what many of my professors did not know then is that during law school, I became the legal guardian of my then 15-year-old sister. Some might say with these challenges, I faced odds that were stacked against my success. But critical influencers, some of who are in this room, taught me the first critical lesson. Where you start, what your background is, does not determine your future. My second lesson. My second important lesson came during high school, when I learned not to quit and that it actually matters who you surround yourself with. Though my family encouraged me to get an education, by the time I was in high school, I was unsure about how would I be able to afford or even attend college. As a teenager in New York City, I was pulled in various directions. Some of my childhood friends were turning to the streets as a path for quote-unquote economic success, while others were focused on going to college or the military as a way out of the inner city. At the beginning of high school, I wasn't exactly the most focused student, and my grades suffered. I did well enough in some classes to take honors classes, and in other classes I just struggled. My 10th grade biology teacher, Mrs. Thomas, became a beacon of light for me. She saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And with her encouragement, I got involved in things like the drama club and student government, ultimately becoming student president during my senior year. Those opportunities exposed me to new experiences, and I began to improve and focus on my grades and how I could get into college. By the fall of my senior year, like many high school students, I had thought, I'm good. I've improved my grades, I'm ready, I'm gonna apply to college. But my high school guidance counselor didn't actually agree with me. I remember going to her office and her taking a look at what my transcript had on it and telling me, you know, Elke, it's not likely that you'll get accepted into a 4-year college. So you should think about first applying to a community college. Well, you could imagine, I left her office deflated. When a little later in the day, I saw Mrs. Thomas and I told her, she wasn't having any of it. Mrs. Thomas told me, I don't care what the guidance counselor said. You apply to every single college you want to go to, you will get accepted and you will graduate. Now let me tell you guys, I sanitized that quite a bit. I grew up in New York City. Mrs. Thomas, she used a lot more colorful language than that, all right? But thanks to her encouragement, I applied only to 4-year colleges and I was accepted. What I didn't realize then was that Mrs. Thomas helped me to keep me in school. She helped me focus. She helped me excel as a student leader, but most importantly, she made me believe that college was attainable. This was one of my first early lessons that the people you connect with, the people you surround yourself with actually matter. I learned that people will invest in you, they will encourage you, and they will believe in you when you don't quite believe in yourself. Most importantly, I learned to listen to those people. So when you have any troubles and you don't believe in yourself, make sure you surround yourself with the people who will push you forward. My third lesson came in law school because, yes, just like you, I went through this whole experience. In law school, I learned that when you face failure, that moment is actually preparing you for something greater. Like all of you, as a law student, I know you all remember this, I experienced the stress of applying for that all-important second year summer job. I interviewed at several law schools, I interviewed for government positions, I interviewed at IBM. Back then, IBM used to hire directly out of law school, and the opportunity seemed perfect. I remember how I was just so excited for this because it combined my interest in technology and business. And I tell you, I was jumping over the moon when I actually landed the interview and got the offer. I was like, I made it, I'm good. I'm about to be an IBM attorney. This is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna travel the world. And I really began to dream about what my life was gonna be like. Over the summer, I spent time in IBM's New York City office and in their Stamford, Connecticut offices. The legal teams I worked with there were great, and the projects were challenging. With a few weeks left in the summer program, it was announced that IBM's legal department was getting a brand new general counsel, and that he would meet with the 2L summer class. As you can well imagine, we were all excited. We're gonna meet the general counsel. This is intense, this is great. On the day of the meeting, IBM's new general counsel shared his plans for the legal department. And we listened intently, and in his remarks, he noted, while IBM has historically hired directly from the law school, he wasn't quite sure if they would continue with the practice. As you can imagine, we were probably all sitting there in the room with our mouths hanging open. At the end of the meeting, our summer managers quickly assured us, you guys don't have to worry, your class is not gonna be impacted, you won't be affected by this. Guess what? They were wrong. The general counsel terminated the practice, but we were not notified until October. When the IBM program manager called me to deliver the news that I would not be getting a job offer, he also said to me, oh, you did a great job, you'll have a strong recommendation, it's so unfortunate, blah, 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 blah. Everything he said after you don't have a job was a blur. I was like, what? Wait. It was devastating news. I'd worked really hard. I thought my future was right before me. And at the time, I actually felt like a complete failure. Like, what went wrong? Why did this happen? Well, I didn't have any choices at that point, and I knew I couldn't quit. So I had to start all over again in November of my third year, looking for a job. I informed Career Services about what had happened. I spoke to my professors about the news. And I just asked for everybody's help in helping me to find any potential jobs that might be available. It was really hard getting interviews as a third-year law student. It was even harder trying to land a job offer. An opportunity came through Professor Brostoff. She told me that a state court judge was still accepting applications for a law clerk. I quickly applied, and I landed the interview. And then I waited. And guess what, guys? I got that job. So it was amazing. What I didn't know at the time, losing the IBM opportunity turned out to actually be a good thing. On a personal note, it allowed me to stay in Pittsburgh and continue to provide some stability for my younger sister, who was just finishing high school. Professionally, the state court clerkship actually opened the door so that I could then do a federal district court clerkship, which was an opportunity that I hadn't had before. The irony was that what I thought was a failure ended up leading to greater paths of opportunity. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of grew up on Oprah. You guys probably didn't, but I do love Oprah sometimes. And Oprah once said, failure is really just life trying to put you on another path. She was right. We will all face what we might perceive to be failure in life. And when you do fail, don't let it define you. Instead, let it push you forward to take a different path. Lesson number 4. The fourth lesson I'd like to share with you is own your own story. When I joined Microsoft back in 2005, although there were women attorneys in the legal department, I was only the fourth African-American woman attorney hired in a department of over 400 attorneys. A few years later, Microsoft's legal department created a diversity team to pursue initiatives both internally and externally to help diversify the department and our legal profession. Needless to say, I volunteered to join that team. The following year, we launched what was then called the Law Firm Diversity Program, which offered a bonus to our law firm partners for improving diversity in their firms. Back in 2008, the percentage of the partners at the nation's largest law firms who were women was just at 18%. And only 5% of the partners at our law firms were minorities. To demonstrate Microsoft Legal's commitment to the program, our leadership team agreed that 5% of their annual bonus would be held back if our law firms didn't meet the diversity progress that they had said they could do. During the first year of the program, not one of our law firms met their targeted goals. And so each of the senior department leaders at Microsoft's legal department lost 5% of their bonus, and it was held to be used for diversity efforts. Our general counsel at the time asked the department for proposals on how best to invest the funds. I prepared a proposal about how to use the funds, and I shared it with the head of the diversity team for his review. He took a day or so to review it, and then he called me with his feedback. And he told me, this isn't the best that you can do. This is going to the general counsel and his senior leadership team. It has to reflect your best work. I'm not going to give you any edits, because this has to be your view. I know you can do it. What do you mean you know I can do it? I need some edits. Why won't you redline this thing? Well, after we ended the call, I closed my office door and I cried. I was crushed. I only had a little time left before I had to submit this thing. And it really dawned on me that the proposal did not reflect how personal what I was asking them to do was to me. He didn't realize that the proposal to use the funds to create scholarships that would help send students to college was actually based on my own experience. Although I knew I needed to revise it, I also realized that I knew better than anyone why student scholarships was really a critical piece for students who could not afford to attend college or law school. Could I tell the most senior people in my department that without scholarships, I would have never been able to go to college or law school? But I instinctively knew that I would have to tell that story. So I submitted my proposal and I waited. I made the first cut, and myself and along with others, we would present to the senior leadership team. On the day of the presentation, I was nervous, but I was committed to using my voice and sharing my personal story. After I shared the proposal, I told them, I know how impactful this proposal could be because I was that young person who couldn't afford to go to college or law school without the support of scholarships. My proposal was ultimately selected, and there is no doubt in my mind that sharing my story, using my own authentic voice, made the difference. The funds were then used to send 10 diverse students to college, and this year marks the 4th anniversary of those students graduating from college. This experience was a powerful lesson to me about how important it is to use your voice and to own your story, whatever that might be, to help drive change. The experience became a North Star for me. So today, I encourage you to fearlessly follow your North Star. I encourage you to be courageous and use your voice and your story for positive change. As I reflect on the lessons I've learned so far, and trust me, I know there are more lessons to learn, only now can I connect the dots and see that each lesson, each experience, prepares you for the next. The lessons I know to be true are as follows. Where you start does not determine where you finish. You get to make that choice. Invest in relationships. Stay close to those who lift you up when you can't see your own greatness. Last, you get to decide if you win or fail. and failure only happens when you decide to quit. Your University of Pittsburgh law degree is an impressive calling card, and what you choose to do with your law degree will ultimately be up to you. But know that your law degree gives you the opportunity to change your life, to pursue your passion, and if you want to be an agent of change for others and for our profession. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, Elke. We are deeply grateful to you for joining us here today and for your inspiring words for our graduates. We will now proceed to the commencement of the class of 2018. Woohoo! You're supposed to. A few preliminary notes. As the graduates step forward, I know that many of you in the audience will want to take photographs. We will also be taking pictures of every graduate for you as well. We therefore ask that you please not come forward any further than the first row of audience seating, and in that way, everyone can get the pictures that they want and the ceremony can proceed smoothly. The ceremony will proceed in the following order. First, we will present the degree of Doctor of Juridical Sciences to the 6th graduate of our Doctoral program for foreign scholars. Next, we will present the graduates of our 23rd class of Master of Laws candidates, lawyers from other countries who have engaged in an intense year of graduate study in the American legal system with us. Professor Ronald Brand will present first our SJD candidate and then the Master of Laws candidates. Next, Professor Alan Meisel, the director of our Master of Studies in Law degree program, will read the names of the MSL candidates. The MSL degree program is for those who are interested in the study of law in order to acquire new skills and knowledge and to enhance their careers and professions outside of the traditional practice of law. Third, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs Haider Al-Hamoudi and Associate Dean of Students Kevin Deasy will present the JD candidates. All of the graduates who are here with us today will proceed across the stage to be congratulated and to receive a certificate of membership in the Law School's Alumni Association. Your program booklet lists all of the members of the class of 2018. However, today we will only be reading the names of those who are here in attendance. I will now turn the proceedings over to Professors Brand and Meisel and Associate Deans Hamoudi and Deasy.
Dean Carter and members of the faculty, it is my privilege and distinct honor to present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, Ohud Ali Al-Sahrani. Dean Carter and members of the faculty, it is my distinct honor and privilege to present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws. Yazid Ahmed Al-Bagashi. Juliet Caroline Ostbury. Lydia Torres Camacho. Shireen Deeb. Patrick Armel Dongmo Tsagay. Oля Kotlyarska. Arnella Maglish. Congratulations. Arsoya Molnar. Congratulations. Isan S.F. Nemmer. Jacopo Pescada. Benedict Rufus Reisnecker. Ines Sonhi. Rebecca Alisa Stecklein. Manon Yvonne Chantal Troim. Rahaf Muhammad Ali Zaini. The LLM class of 2018.
Dean Carter and members of the faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present the candidates for Master of Studies in Law, 7 in number. Mary Ann Brown. R. Craig Coulter. Jennifer N. Hill. Jessica G. Moss. Antonio Dante Paris. Stacy Lynn Rulo. Andrew C. Rosano.
Dean Carter and members of the faculty, it is now my honor and privilege to present the members of the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. Judy Abongo. Zachary Agate. Nasheed Ibn Ali. Alessandra P. Allegretto. Franklin Angelo Alvarez. Matthew J. Banta. Michael Berquist. Ashley N. Blakeney. Tiara Bradford. Kristen Olivia Brosick. Jessica Philippe Bissant. Benjamin J. Campbell. Galen Patricia Carrig. Mark E. Casper. Aisha Chima. Peter Kyle Clausen. Sarah E. Koblenz. Christina S. Correnti. Melanie E. Kadir. Angel D'Amico. Matthew H. Davis. Sean P. Dawson. Christopher J. Delana. Joel DeMary. Margaret A. Darathick. Alonzo R. Diaz. David Rosario Didio. Benjamin C. Dobkin. Eric A. Donatelli. Caitlin C. Dorwart. Samuel G. Dunlop. Lucas B. Earl. Samuel W. Esterman. Melissa Nicole Fan. Matthew R. Fessler. Robin Q. Frost. Nathan F. Falk. Gwyneth S. Gamble Jarvie. Adam J. Garrett. Samuel J. Garrow. Sherry Lee Golbieski. Jason A. Goodman. Hannah Habtewald. Adam C. Hagag. Allison S. Hall. Linda A. Hamilton. Christopher R. Harris. Kyle Higgins. Kevin D. Huber. Kara L. Hunter. Taylor W. Isaac. Miracle Louise Jones. Rondell Magic Jordan. Mate Yurkovich. Kristen Marie Kakasik. Aiden Kaplan. Christian Grine Kegel. Brian J. Kim. Yelisaveta Katova. Allison J. Kunde. Antoinette L. Lucchini. Matthew Madruga. Ashley Majorski. Amber Manson. Kirsten N. Marcucci. Alexandra Marinucci. Marcus Martin. Karima Mayer. Charles McElway.
Hugh T. McKeegan. Lionel E. Mendieta. Alexandra M. Minoski. Sean Merkley. Sean V. Merritt. Brandon S. Mickey. Colin G. Miller. Greg. Emily S. Morin. Julie A. Muller. Adam P. Murdoch. Austin D. Nace. Jonathan R. Niznansky. Joshua A. Niarco. Sarah A. O'Toole. Michael A. Owens. Daniel L. Penatar III. Kyle A. Peterson. Nandini Pillai. Kathleen M. Poynton. Michael E. Poole. Elizabeth P. Presley. Tyler J. Prevade. Nicholas T. Ratsep. Shumaya L. Reed. David Rodkey. Max B. Roche. Daniel S. Rothschild. Ankur Sakaria. That's tough. Joshua R. Solomon. Brandon A. Santiago. Matthew I. Santiago. Heather Schultz. Ruben Toft Sindall. Congratulations. Something about a Nissan here. Megan M. Skiba. Casey J. Snyder. Olivia M. Stewart. Been practicing. Hannah Joy Swanovic. Ichambadi. Ram Thirumlai Ichambadi. Rio Toplak. Brandon Travis. Casey C. Tuttle. Jessica Marie Van Dam. Matthew L. Van Dyke. James P. Villanova. Daniel J. Walters. Phoebe Jane Weiskopf. Alexis Marie Wheeler. Alana Williams. Emily C. Whitlinger. Yayun Carrie Shu. Andrew Yu Chi. Family and distinguished guests, I give you the class of 2018.
Would the class of 2018 please rise? Please move your tassel from the right to the left. And as Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, let me be the first to offer my congratulations to all of you on your graduation. Congratulations. Please be seated. At this time, Michael Nelson, the Pitt Law Alumni Association President, will welcome you as the newest members of the Alumni Association. Michael is a stalwart of the legal profession and of our Alumni Association. Michael?
Thank you, Dean Carter. I want to acknowledge and thank my classmate, Elke Flores Suber, and my former conflicts professor, Wanda Wasserman, for their thoughtful remarks. And I want to thank all of the faculty and staff for allowing me to say a few words today. It is a great privilege for me to address you today as the president of the Pitt Law Alumni Board of Governors. It's hard to believe that it's been more than 20 years since Elke and I sat where you guys are sitting today, waiting for the alumni guy to sit down so that you could celebrate with your family and friends. Don't worry, I'm not going to reminisce about the good old days, and I'm not going to ask for contributions to our newly minted graduates. First, I want to thank the faculty and staff for their excellent work getting you all prepared for your new career armed with a Juris Doctorate from the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. I also want to take a moment to thank Dean Carter on behalf of the alumni for his excellent work over the last 6 years. Jack Welch said, "Before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is about growing others." I have no doubt that Dean Carter has dedicated the last 6 years to growing the law school and its students. So thank you, Chip, for leaving the school a better place. You have all been given the tools necessary to succeed in your new profession. All Pitt Law alums are blessed with professors who are more than just educators. They are individuals deeply invested in our growth as people, not just as lawyers. Those connections you have made over the last 3 years were not severed when you walked across that stage, and I would encourage you to remain connected to the school and its faculty. Take advantage of the network of Pitt Law alums that exist in Pittsburgh and around the world. Stay connected to your alumni network. Pitt Law has produced a number of noticeable alums, including several state governors, members of the United States Senate and the House of Representatives, a United States Attorney General, and hundreds of distinguished jurists. We gather once a year in the fall for a reception, but there are literally dozens of opportunities each year to interact with your fellow alums. As a young lawyer, use this network of attorneys to build professional relationships and to find mentors that can offer advice that may help you avoid a pitfall early in your career. Tell us about your personal and professional successes so that we can share your story with the other alums. And as you get older, I hope you will consider how you can give back to the school. Perhaps you will want to get involved with the Alumni Association or join the faculty as an adjunct professor. Others may elect simply to serve as a mentor for a young graduate. It does not matter how you give, it just matters that you do. Finally, I'm here to challenge you to use the skills you have honed during your time here at Pitt to make your community a better place. That sounds like an abstract request, so let me put a finer point on what I'm asking. Each of you has spent the last 3 or 4 years studying the law. You have learned to carefully parse opinions and statutes and understand better than anyone the importance that language and rhetoric can play in fashioning a decision. In my time as an attorney, I have noticed that the way in which lawyers interact with each other has become harsher. We seem to have forgotten that we are all members of the same profession with shared experiences and professional responsibilities. More and more, we see inflexibility and intolerance in our profession and around the world. Do your part to reverse that trend. To be clear, I am not suggesting that you should not zealously represent your clients, but you can do so in a way that honors the great traditions established by our predecessors. Extend professional courtesies to your colleagues and opponents, and remain receptive to new ideas. Avoid ad hominem attacks and get to know your colleagues on both a professional and a personal level. Now more than ever, a little kindness can go a long way. And so, on behalf of your fellow alumni, I want to wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. I look forward to the opportunities we will have to interact in the coming years and to represent Pitt Law proudly in our communities. Congratulations to each of you and your families on this tremendous accomplishment, and hail to Pitt.
Mike, thank you for your message to our graduates and for all of the good works that you and your fellow graduates do for the law school. We would not enjoy our outstanding national reputation without the achievements of the thousands of graduates whom you represent. This concludes our formal ceremonies. The stage party will withdraw first, followed by the graduates, and then by our other guests. To all of our guests, thank you for joining us in this celebration of achievement. To our newest graduates, you have our congratulations, our best wishes, and our highest hopes. I hope that all of you will join us on the first floor of the Cathedral of Learning for a reception in honor of the graduating class. And again, my congratulations to the class of 2018. Thank you.